crew. I hope you're doing awesome today. Welcome to today's live where I have Miss Beth Frederick with me. And we are meant to have Laurie Endress here as well, but true to the topic, life's challenges. Laurie's had a couple of things hit her just in the last kind of 24, 48 hours. One of those is her health, and the other one is a brand new grandchild, which was kind of unexpected. So you put the two and two together, and she can't actually join us today. So true to form in life does throw us lots of challenges, and we have to try to navigate showing up at our business and everything that we need to do on social media. So I wanted to have a chat about this because Beth knows this all too well. At the moment with moving house, very quickly made a decision to sort of change direction in her life, put the house on the market, buy another house, sell the house, move, like all really quickly. So there's, moving house is one of the biggest things. Has anyone moved house? Like anybody watching live or catching the replay? If anyone's moved house, you know how such a huge job that is. So I know what you're going through at the moment, Beth, but you're still managing to keep things ticking along in your business. And I think this is a really important discussion to have with Christmas coming up as well. So some of you, if you're in the US, you've just had Thanksgiving. Canadians, you've already had your Thanksgiving, but we've got Christmas coming up. We've got New Year's coming up. A lot of people ditch their social media and building their business at this time. So I think it's really timely to have a discussion around how do we navigate all of life's challenges and still keep your business ticking along. This is one of those topics that maybe some people won't even tune into because it's not a sexy social media topic, but there is nothing more important at this time of year than keeping your business ticking along while you're doing everything you need to do in your personal life and Christmas and family and celebrations and things like that. Because I'll tell you, and Beth and I were just talking about this before we came live, if you drop the ball completely and you lose that momentum that you've worked so hard for in your business all year, it is so much harder mentally, and the energy that it takes to get back on track with your business is so much harder than if you just did minimum non-negotiables, along the way, even through Christmas and New Year's. So let's have a chat about some strategies to help you do everything that you need to do over the holidays and navigate life, but still keep your business ticking along. So, Beth, thank you for joining me today. And I know you are living and breathing this at the very moment with a moving house. And you wouldn't be able to see it, but live behind Beth is a whole lot of boxes. She's literally living around boxes at the moment. So what have you sort of learnt about this process, and how are you managing to keep your business ticking along while you're going through this, at the moment? Would love to hear, how you're dealing with this.
So in amongst the moving too, and some of you may know, and I know Helen knows, I also lost my brother. So I was dealing with grief as well. So that was really overwhelming. And I think the first thing I had to do was just kind of try to stop the overwhelm and just kind of change my thoughts, saying, this is a process. This is what I need to do. This is, I just got to keep moving forward. This is life. It happens to everybody. So it was a lot. And I think the first, as well as changing my thoughts, so the first thing I did was I was trying to do my regular DMO like I have been. So all the tasks, all the things, and it was not physically possible for me to do that. And I started beating myself up, and I felt like a failure because I wasn't getting it done. And so the first thing I really had to do is I had to dial down my DMO to the bare minimum. I figured out what my priorities were, what was important to do that I needed to do, kind of take off the things that I wanted to do. So for example, if I was adding my regular DMO was adding 10 friends a day and starting 10 conversations a day. So I just dialed it down to one friend and one conversation. and working 1 hour a day, a minimum of 1 hour a day. And if I could get that 1 hour done in however I could do it, whether it was 10 minutes here or 30 minutes here, I had to dial that down. Once I dialed it down, then I felt really good about what I was doing, and that made me want to do more. So it was like a mental shift, right?
Yeah. So I just want to tap into that for a second, the mental shift. What we do as human beings, and hey, Claudette, good to see you. Thank you for saying hello. What we do as human beings is often have big expectations of ourselves. And can I just acknowledge for a second? Claudette's on live saying hello. It's Claudette's 60th birthday today.
Happy birthday.
As we speak. If anyone's watching live or catching the replay, please say happy birthday to Claudette. She could be doing, and I know because she was on a Zoom call with me with the coaching community just before. Oh, coaching community members, by the way, we had an amazing Zoom call. We went in all different directions about Instagram and TikTok and content. Like Claudette was on that call for most of the call. It's her 60th birthday. She still had time to be on that training before this live, and she's still here saying hello on her 60th birthday. So please say happy birthday. She deserves everybody to say happy 60th birthday to her on this live because she's actually here listening in. And I'm hoping you're still with your family eating cake while you're listening in, Claudette, or something similar. But credit to you for, being here. So back to what we were sharing before, because it's just the little things that you do. It's not taking much out of her day. If it fits and she can listen in while she's doing other things, it's not a big deal. It's that mental shift of what we do up here that goes, I should do that. I should do that. My DMO, I should be friend requesting. I should be interacting on social media. I can't be bothered. Blah, 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 blah. We're all up here and we don't do it. Then we get down on ourselves. And then we're all negative and our confidence goes down the toilet, and it's just a negative thing. And you want to escape from social media because in your head, you've gone, I should have done that. I haven't done that. Oh, now, that social media thing, because you're feeling negative about the things that you didn't do that you should have done and you didn't get them done. And now social media and building your business is a negative thing. What Beth just mentioned to you about having a dialed down DMO and how it makes her feel. What Beth just, if you really listen to what she said, dialed down DMO and she's still achieving things in her business, which makes her feel good. So your confidence is still up. There's still something you're doing in your business which makes you feel good. Is that correct, Beth?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if you were trying to achieve your normal DMO and you just physically know because of the move and the grief that you've gone through, you've had to deal with a family member's death, all of that as well. If you were still trying to keep up and you didn't adjust your DMO to reflect everything that you were going through, how mentally would that make you feel? Ordinary, because you're a high achiever as well.
Yeah. For 2 days, I was literally beating myself up and just saying, I don't want to do this. I want to quit. Just felt like a failure. And then I thought, I have to switch this up. I have to pivot really quickly. I have to dial that DMO so that I feel good and so that I can continue even that little bit. And as you mentioned earlier, even that little bit is better than nothing, because
Absolutely.
if you stop doing things, it's so much harder to get going again. Like you are going to be, struggling to get going again if you completely stop, one day, and then you stop 2 days and you think, oh, one more day won't hurt. Another day won't hurt. And then it's just so hard to get back into it. And I was telling Helen earlier that a lot of people really get burnt out by social media, and I'm quite the opposite. I am missing it. I mean, I've been without internet for almost a month now. And so I've been working off data, and if it costs me a little bit extra, it costs me a little bit extra because I want to get things done, as little as they are, right?
Yep. And I think, the energy that it takes, if you completely drop off your business in Christmas and New Year's, the mental energy that it takes to get back, into momentum is much harder than if you just did a little bit of what you needed to do and build that confidence in, okay, I've worked my business for half an hour today, or I've worked my business for an hour today. I feel good about that. I'm just dialing it all back down for Christmas, or, someone's passed away, or I'm moving house or whatever. I can't physically possibly do what I normally do. So I'm dialing it down. So even though Beth has had her brother passed away, she's moved house. She's just said on this live that you're still friend requesting one person a day instead of how many you would normally do. How many would you normally do?
Between 10 and 15.
Okay, between 10 and 15. So one a day over 7 days is still 7 new people potentially into your network. So there's that. She's still growing her business. The other thing is she's still finding an hour a day for her business. An hour a day for her business amongst all of that. We can all do it. The one thing we can't do is you can't manage time. The clock's ticking, whether you like it or not. The hands are going around in a forward direction. You can't ever get back time, and you can't actually manage time. All you can manage is what you do with your time and your priorities. So if you really want to build your business and keep that momentum, think about it like a job. And obviously we're talking to entrepreneurs and people that build a business on the side and things like that. If you've got a job and you're getting paid, whether you want to go to that job or not, you've still got to get in your car or walk or, whatever, and go to that job and do what you need to do. You should still have a minimum non-negotiable for your side business as well.
That's one thing. One of my accountability partner said to me, because I was saying, this is all happening to me, and I guess I was complaining a bit. And he said to me, he said, but if you had a job, you would only get 3 days bereavement or 4 days bereavement. You still have to go back to your job. So that's a really good point that you made. We still have to do what we have to do if we had a 9-to-5 job or a regular job, right?
Yeah. And just, what does it mean to you at the end of the day? Why are you building your business? Do you want more money in your bank account? Do you want freedom? Time freedom? Do you want to leave a legacy for your kids or your grandkids? Like, you can't just stop the legacy. Yeah. You can't just, in saying that, something like Christmas Day. So and some people don't celebrate Christmas. So, whatever life gets in the way for you, we're just concentrating on the holidays because we're almost here, for Christmas. But also have boundaries and healthy boundaries. So on Christmas, don't try to work your business or fit in a 3-way call or a Zoom training or, whatever it is. It's okay, like you would a normal job. You're not going to a normal job on Christmas Day. Well, some people will. Essential service workers will. There's lots of people that do work on Christmas Day. But when you're on, you're on. But when you're off, you're off. That's what entrepreneurs need to learn to do. Mm-hmm. So when you're off, you put the phone down. If you've got something to attend to, this is what I do. If a message comes in and I know somebody wants something from me, if I see it, I will actually say to them, I see your message. I can't attend to it right now because of whatever. And this happens to me on the weekend a lot. Saturdays for me are full of tennis. My boys play junior tennis, and my eldest boy plays junior and senior tennis, and my husband plays senior tennis. Saturdays, now we're in the tennis season, are from, we're getting up at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and we are gone until nighttime. So if I'm checking or I'm messaging on my Saturday, it's while I'm out and about at the tennis. So I can still at various times or between games navigate things, but if I can't, or somebody wants a document that's only on my computer and I can't access it on my phone or something, I'm at the moment. I'll get back to you when I get home. I'll send you that information. I go straight to the notes section of my phone and I put, get back to Beth about this document, whatever. So I've acknowledged the person, I've put a note in my phone, and now I'm off. That can wait until when I get home or the next day or whatever. So just set healthy boundaries, but it's all to do with communication. If you have a team that you look after, then you say, I'm down tools and so should you be, guys, on Christmas Day. Have fun with your families. It's all good. I'm off the radar, whatever. Allow yourself to have those healthy boundaries. So when you're off, you're off. But when you're on for your half an hour a day or your hour a day, be on, do what you need to do, and then, be off. Okay, so there's that.
And, another thing that when you mentioned about if you have a team, I do have a team. So because I've been so busy, I think it's really important to communicate that with your team as well. Just saying, this is happening in my life, and they have been so understanding. I'm so thankful for them. Um, but I'm still trying to connect how I can. And, exactly how you say, I'll get back to you later. I'm on the road right now traveling. I mean, I've been doing so many trips back and forth, but I use the note section of my phone all the time because we have a 12-hour trip to move all these boxes back, 12-hour round trip. And lots of that, there's no internet. So I'm in the notes section of my phone all the time, planning and taking that time when I'm not driving, so that's another
Yeah.
strategy is just plan when you can, plan when you have those moments that you can. I mean, what else am I going to do when I'm sitting in the
Yeah.
passenger side, right?
Yeah.
So that's another, good thing to do is just do some planning when you can.
One of my lifelines and so I highly recommend this to you if you don't already have this strategy, just building on what we're talking about, is the notes section of my phone. One of those notes is to do. So it's just a to-do list. For me to be on when I'm on and off when I'm off, things have to get on that to-do list. But once I get it on the to-do list, I let it go, because I know once I get home, I can look at the to-do list and I will insert things on my to-do list in a matter of priority. So if something comes in and it's like, oh, I've got to get that back to that person straight away, it goes to the top. If it's not a priority and I've got other priorities, it goes, the second or the third thing down. But once I know I've got it there, then I can let it go here. Because what you don't want to do is when you're downtime time with family, Christmas or whatever, is be thinking about all the things that you need to do or that you haven't done or whatever, because it's only up here. That will only cause you stress. It will help you. You'll start resenting your business. So when you get it out of here and onto paper, and know that there's something that you can refer back to so when you're on and you've got that half an hour or that hour in a day to refer back to, then you're on looking back at the list. But that enables me, like I was explaining at tennis on a Saturday, I might have 5 or 6 things that crop up during that day while I'm at tennis, but as long as it gets into the notes section of my phone, I then put it there and I literally let it go. Because it's like, well, I'll know that that's at the top of my list. I'll get back to that when I get home. So you can let things go. Really, really important. Mm-hmm. The other thing I want to mention about trying to manage all of this, particularly holiday time, Christmas, New Year's, is a lot of you think it's not the right time to bring up my business. There is no more perfect time to get into chats with people about the year that was and what they want to do for the year that's coming. Do you realize that, those of you that are in this industry of entrepreneurship, a side hustle, side business, social selling, is this time of year when you are socializing, you're at Christmas parties, you're even talking to family and friends about the year that was or the year that's coming, what they don't want to repeat that went bad, or what their vision is for 2024, and how you can talk about what you're doing in that discussion.
Because people are reflecting, right? People are reflecting
Absolutely.
about, yes.
And they're also, the other mindset issue around this is you don't think it's the right time to talk about people about money. People are spending. People are open. If you've got any kind of thoughts in your head, it's not the right time to bring it up. Your mindset is not where it needs to be. There's no more perfect timing than bringing up your business at this time of year in the right way. Be a human before a marketer. Don't say, oh, I've got a business and you should join it. We're not talking about that. We're talking about having a discussion and getting interested in somebody's life about, so how is 2023 for you and what's 2024 looking at? They're going to tell you all their problems. Yep. Like, it's the perfect time for you to say, because they're going to reciprocate. They're going to say, oh, so what are you going to do? It's like, I'm really going to get stuck into my side business this year. Oh, I didn't know you had one. What's that? Like, if you don't realize the potential for you to bring up your business at this time of year, that's mindset shift number 1. Number 2, do not have a mindset block. People can't afford it because everybody's strapped for cash at Christmas. Do you know how much money goes out at this time of year? And if you've got the solution to help people start 2024 with a new opportunity, and you outlook on life, people will spend. It's how you value stack it. If you build the value, then people will buy. So 2 mindset shifts there. If you think it's not the right time to talk about business, shift that. And if you think it's not the right time to ask people to invest in a business, you need to shift that. Okay, so these are part of life's challenges that we go through mentally, that you need to sort of rework at this time of year if you've got those shifts. So going back to something Beth shared before, minimum viable sort of DMO. So for those that are listening or catching the replay, what does that even look like? Beth, can you give us some examples of what you're dialed down, what you're still doing even though it's dialed down? So you're still working your business an hour a day. So what are you doing in that hour? What's important to you?
I am going into my messages and connecting with the people that have connected back. I'm sending happy birthday messages. I'm requesting one friend a day. I'm trying to start one conversation a day. I'm giving love so that I can get back love. I cut out TikTok because it was just too much right now. So I haven't done TikTok for about a week. So I have cut that out because it was just too much. Most of all because I didn't have internet. And yeah, and my content. So content, making sure that I've got content scheduled. I know that Facebook doesn't actually like you to have 100% schedule, but I had to. I absolutely had to. It's better than not having any content at all. So making sure that I take at least 10, 15 minutes each day, just to make sure that my content is on point, maybe do a little bit of planning for the next month. The one thing that I'm really noticing going through this whole process is that I'm learning that I like to be in control of what I'm doing, and what I'm going through. But this live is about life challenges that throw us a curveball. Sometimes we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know that, life is going to throw us a curveball. So if you don't have your content plan, you're up the creek without a paddle, right? Because then you have to really get in there. And that's what often people, I think, give up because they don't have anything planned. So I try to have at least a month prepared ahead of time. My topics, I use AI to do a lot of my planning, and using it a lot more right now because I have such little time. But putting in the prompts to give me subtopics on what I want, and then subtopics on that or whatever. And so I'm preparing for the next month now using AI because I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. I have no idea. And that's, yes, Christmas is coming, so I want to be prepared for that. But, I was prepared that my brother was going to pass away, but we didn't know when. I made 4 trips to Toronto, and I didn't know that I was going to happen. So you have to, if you don't have things ahead of time, and I teach all about content. So that's my brand is all about content. And I love to create my own content. But lately, because I've been strapped for time, I've been using that AI, and I love the Canva Pro feature of AI Magic Studio because I usually go in and normally I would go in and grab a template and I'd edit it to what I liked, but you can go into Magic Studio and it creates the whole template for you, and then you just, download them and there they go. But I'm preparing. I guess I'm always preparing for the next life challenge, right? And I think we have to be realistic about that.
Yeah. Now there's 3 things that I want to highlight here that Beth has mentioned. So when life throws you a curveball, Christmas is coming up, New Year's, you're going to be distracted, you've got family around or you're going to family or whatever. There's 3 things in your business that you should never ignore. 2 of them I talk about all the time. But there's a third one, which is extremely important. And Beth, unbeknownst to her, or no, it's not unbeknownst because she's an organized person, so she knows what's important. So it's probably more about that. But there's 3 things. They start with C. Okay? What's 2 of them that I'm going to say right now, Beth?
Content and conversations.
Okay, because they're the 2 I talk about all the time. And I've said this in this community over and over and over again. Content and conversations. Now, when you get really good at your content, and even, the whole AI boot camp that I did last week was phenomenal for your content.
Yes.
So you can use AI to create the content for you. So content. Now, what we hope for you is that your content is that good that it creates the conversations. So when you're really good, you're consistent, and you're good at your content will draw out and traction marketing will attract the conversations. However, if you're not at that point yet, your content is not creating reactions, engagements, comments, whatever, then you initially, until you get better at your content, get better at building a brand, get better at these things, you have to create the conversations. So Beth has already mentioned that she's scheduling her content in advance and getting that organized, and she's using AI to help her with that. She's already mentioned that she's networking a little bit every day, replying to people's comments, replying in Messenger, whatever. So she's having conversations. The third one is connections, and she's even doing that. So she is friend requesting. It's only one, but she said she normally does 15, 20, but she at least one a day. She's building her connections. Not everyone will accept her friend request, but she's still doing it. So the three things, like when you are minimum viable, when life hits you, when Christmas comes along and you're distracted, think of those three things. Connections. So building your audience, connecting with new people. At some point, if you're building on social media, you have to build beyond your family and friends, even if you're still in that zone at the moment. Some of you don't even want to go there. You want to go straight to cold market. Okay, to do that, you have to build connections with that cold market for them to trust you enough to want to buy something off you. So building your connections is critical. Putting content out there is what actually attracts people to you. If you don't have any content, if you go cold for 2 or 3 weeks because it's Christmas, New Year, people are gravitating to the people that are creating the content. You are missing the boat, and you are sending your business backwards. Okay, so content and conversations. Even if your content around Christmas is Merry Christmas, here's my family and here's me doing this and I'm playing in the snow or I'm skiing or I'm swimming or, summer, winter, wherever you are around the world, use what you're doing in the holiday time to create the content. That will create the conversations. At least there's conversations happening. If you don't post on social media at all, you are missing so many opportunities over Christmas and New Year. It's easy to bring up your business at this time of year. It's easier to create content at this side of year. Just create content that's fun and family orientated. Put a post up about your Christmas tree. I did that this week. The boys, Zach was at me, Mum, we need a new Christmas tree this year. Oh, do we really?
I can't believe you have it up already.
I know, but can I? But Zach did that, not me. Zach has been at me at weeks for a new Christmas tree. It was all Zach. And then he even waited for Ollie to finish work before they put it up together. Like, I'm so proud of them. And it's not even December yet. I can't even, as I said, I can't believe it's up. But you make a photograph of that. And I took one during the day and at night. And well done, boys. It's a piece of content. Heaps of people then comment in it. Content and conversations. Tick, tick. Maybe that will bring me a new connection with somebody that's commented that I don't even know, and it happens. So if you're listening, we need to wrap up this live. We could talk for another half an hour, I think. We could. But connections, content, and conversations. What's your minimum viable? What's your minimum non-negotiable DMO, which if that's bypassed you and you don't know what that means, it just means daily method of operation. Beth has normally got a pretty good one. She's dialed it right down. So her DMO is 1 friend request a day. In her messenger, replying to comments, she's networking, she's creating those conversations every day. She's also scheduling her content in advance. She knows that it's not best to have 100% content scheduled in advance, but you got to do what you got to do. At least she's got content up there than no content at all, which is going to create no conversations and no connections. You've just sent your business backwards and somebody else is having a conversation with your potential prospects.
Exactly.
So all of that is, really important. And the last thing I want to mention is just to help you get through the holiday period or things that come up, just batch record some content, save yourself some time. That's exactly what Beth was just sharing before. She's scheduling all her content. So she's batch doing it and she's scheduling it in advance. So there's stuff still going up. She's still present on her social media, even though she's been dealing with her brother's passing and moving house, but it's still there. And she can just check back in with the comments and still have those conversations and those connections. So
and I still do. I try probably every other day to actually put some, content, live on my page. So, whether it's, happy Thanksgiving to my US friends or whatever, or my
yeah,
move is going crazy or something like that,
yeah.
just something that's live.
It's
Yeah,
something up in the moment that can connect, that can create just a bit of engagement, which creates
yeah.
a conversation, which could create even a new connection. So just think of that if you're listening to this live or the replay, your 3 priorities, even when life sort of gets in the way: connections, content, and conversations. And what does that look like for you, even at a minimum viable? And a minimum viable might be 15, 30 minutes a day, one friend request, whatever it is, putting some content up in advance. Just don't disappear from your business, because it is much harder for you to lose that momentum quickly and have all the energy to, okay, I've got to get back into my business, than just keep ticking along a little bit, along the way, because mentally what that does for you is, it's okay. I've been in my business today. I've posted something and I've replied to some things, like confidence-wise, momentum-wise, that will serve you so much better than disappearing and then having to get back in the game, from scratch.
Just
So,
one mention before we go.
yeah,
I think we all have to just realize that life is going to throw us curveballs. That's just
absolutely.
life, right? But it's how we react that really makes the difference. So when in turmoil, I am really learning to stop and understand what's going on, accept the things that I have no control over, because I do like to have things in control, and really evaluate that situation, and then plan and follow through, get a new habit or a new routine or whatever it might be. And lastly, just, I did, for the first couple of days, really beat myself up, just being really kind to yourself, during the stressful time, and changing that language to, this is a process. It's challenging, but it's making me stronger and better for it. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And it really brings home being a human before a marketer when you show up and you share the bad with the good. Some of you would have seen a post on my personal profile yesterday where I was sharing the fact, and I haven't been very open about or talked about it a lot, but I got diagnosed with lupus earlier this year. And since I've lost the weight and been on a health journey because of that, I haven't had a flare up for ages. But one of the boys kindly brought home something from school and passed it on to me. So I caught something that he had, and I came down with that late last week. And unfortunately, it triggered a lupus flare up with being sick. And it's like, oh, I'd forgotten what this pain was like. This sucks. Oh, everything hurts. Oh, I can't get my rings on and whatever. So I talked about it in a post yesterday. The human relatability and the people that have reached out to me personally about lupus, crazy. Just so when life throws you curveballs, it's not necessarily an opportunity to go quiet and disappear from social media. You might in the
exactly.
moment, depending what you're dealing with, and then you come back and say, hey, I know I've been a little bit quiet lately, but this is what I've been going through. That's fine if that's what you need to do. But that human relatability, when you share what you're going through, when life does hit you, that's okay to talk about too. And it actually makes you more human to people. So yeah, just wanted to throw that in. Beth, I know you're surrounded by boxes, and life is pretty crazy for you at the moment, and you've had a wild ride, the last few months. So thank you for making the time to sort of be on and share how you've been dealing with this in your world.
I'm so excited because I think I'm back.
Yeah, you're almost
I'm back.
there.
I'm almost there, and I'm really excited. I've missed the trainings. I've missed, all that stuff. I've missed being with my team and on the team calls and things like this. And I've missed you, and it's just,
Yeah.
I'm really excited about being back. So
Yeah,
thank
and
you
it's
for having
awesome
me.
to see you getting more, settled now. And I know we're missing Laurie as well, and life is she's not that well, and she's a brand new grandchild as of yesterday. Like life has seriously, we do what we can do. But thoughts are with her as well as part of our online crew concierge team. But again, thank you, Beth. It's awesome
Thank you.
to have you here, and I just want to thank you to all of those of you that are watching live, and then we'll catch the replay. And again, Claudette's still on. Oh, look at that. Beth, she's missed you too. So again, happy birthday, Claudette. Well done for being on this live, even when it's your 60th birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Okay, I will see you guys the same time tomorrow. Bye, everyone. See ya.
Bye.